We say what they can't radio.
I'm going to test this out. Keep in mind, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit.
You are now listening to the Get You Some podcast with Nevi, Phia D, and Miss Lisa K. You ready to get you some?
Hey guys, as you know, Black History Month is here, so there's a poem that my school wrote, and this is how it goes. Treat people kindly, do what is fair, work for all people, show that you care. Change what is wrong, but please do not fight. Think of new ways to change wrong to right. Those are the rules if you work as a dream, to remember the man who said, I have a dream.
Welcome. Welcome to episode 6 of the Get You Some podcast. Thank you for joining us. I am Phia D.
And I am Lisa K. And that was my little sunshine, my ray of sunshine, Zay's world. My little Zay.
He's so adorable, my boo.
I know. Isn't he just like so edible?
And yeah, lots of yumminess.
Shout out to Black History Month.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, if this is your first time listening to us, welcome. If not, welcome back. Please be sure to subscribe to us on whatever platform you're listening so that you don't miss out on new episodes when they're released.
Of course. But they got that by now. I'm sure everybody is subscribed. Everybody is looking forward to our episodes every other Tuesday. This is the Get You Some podcast. And we're back.
We are back. So,
what's up?
I don't know. Tell me, what's up with you?
Oh my gosh, so much is going on. I don't know what it is. Like, I've been on such a high lately, and now I feel like I've crashed and I've burned.
I think I'm still on my high.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't stopped, and I need a break, and I may get a break, but I may not.
Oh my gosh, right now it's just not it for me. I'm low energy. So I don't know if you've been following me on Instagram, but I've gone back, and now I'm doing yoga.
Which is awesome.
As a way to like, thank you, but as a way to like get some energy in my life.
But how is it work? Is it helping?
You know what? I feel stronger.
Okay.
For sure. But I fight myself every single time I'm going to that gym. Like, it's like I'm suffering. Yeah. I'm suffering for what I want. But I'm gonna push through.
It's on my list. I want to do a yoga class, I think twice a week in the morning, so that I can kind of like get my body back into working out and just like go, so I can actually go hard in the gym.
Yes,
because it's been a minute.
Yeah, I just, for those of you who don't know, I be hitting up Phia like, you ready or nah?
I'm like, I don't got the time. I don't have even 5 minutes.
But you are probably like the busiest person I know on this planet. Like, seriously, you do everything.
I'm juggling a lot, but I'm thankful. Business is good, work is good.
Good. So, speaking of business, work, and all things, positive, kind of, sort of, definitely. Yeah. So, what was your audacious moment of the week?
I didn't have one specific moment. I was thinking about it on my way here, and honestly, I think this was probably the best thing that we could have done was like give ourselves this challenge, because I find that like I'm constantly like living audaciously. Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm like taking risks. I'm just definitely just not saying, if I find myself feeling a little uneasy about doing something, I'm definitely questioning myself. I'm definitely asking myself like, okay, no, what's the problem here? Like, what are you really afraid of? And then what happens if you go ahead and do that? Right. And then once I let myself do whatever the thing is I'm afraid of, it's like, oh, okay, I just accomplished that. And I kind of have like that little power. It's like I put a cape on and I feel like, okay, I can take the next thing on. Yeah. So it's, in line with what he was saying, just like literally get to that next corner, and then it's like you can run to the next block, and then so on and so forth. So honestly, it's been a lifestyle shift for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
What about you?
Me, my audacious moment of the week, was that I told, I wonder if they're going to listen, but I told one of my bosses, no, like I couldn't do something today. Yeah, like without getting too much into it, but they wanted me to like participate in something after work hours. And I was like, no, usually I would try to finagle that. Right. And oh my gosh, what if they fire me? You know, your mind goes like to the extreme when it comes to stuff like that. And I was just like, nope, I have a commitment. I'm sorry, I can't do it. And it felt so good. You know, it really felt good. And I still felt secure in my position. And you know what they said? Okay,
Next time, probably.
that's it.
Because it's like you're not letting something or someone else control your life. You're taking control. You're setting the boundaries, and you're saying, this is the time that I have available for this, and that's it.
And that's it.
And especially if you're someone who would usually fit it in.
Yeah.
You don't, I mean, I think people get it. They're not just being an asshole. You're not like, oh yeah, I got to run home to go be with my man. Nah.
Exactly.
have an
Exactly.
obligation.
But you know what? If that was the obligation, that would
be the obligation.
That would be the obligation. Family
right.
first.
That's
you
right.
know? If the house ain't happy, nobody's happy.
Nobody.
No one. So, you know, don't be afraid to tell these people nah.
Oh, you know me. I'm the queen of no. It's my year of yes and my year of no.
Yeah, it's been a year of no for quite some time though, Phia.
Oh, I'm good with boundaries. I know my boundaries. The thing is that when I'm gonna say yes, I'm gonna say yes, and I'm gonna go hard, and I'm gonna
Can
do
I just
it.
say that I miss my friend? Like, can you tell me yes sometimes though?
I will. We can have
When?
drinks. Let's have drinks.
You gonna fit me in?
I will fit you in.
Oh, excuse me.
I will fit you in.
I'm
How many no's have I told you lately? I haven't told you.
You be telling me no, but you know I respect it. But I'll send my email and
Send me a
hopefully-
calendar invite.
I can't.
I may propose an alternate time.
If it ain't the podcast, I don't know, yo.
Oh my God. Wow. So guys,
Yeah.
last show, what did we talk about last time? Oh.
The juiciness.
We did. We talked about Black women millionaire habits and know-hows in the art of she-jaculation. So you guys always come through for us in the comments, always come through for us with the feedback, and we really appreciate it. So do we get into this? Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So Jovizi said, glad y'all spoke about the government shutdown. It would have been great to explore the various income streams you ladies have and how y'all got there. It's not easy, but hearing practical examples would have been inspirational. So Jovizi, let's know that we will definitely share some of those things definitely on a later podcast. We did want to elaborate on that. We want to focus, I definitely think that's something that we want to talk about, just kind of like some of our side hustles or some of the things.
Yeah.
And let us know if that's something that, you guys want to hear about. But we do appreciate that, Jovizi, the feedback.
For sure.
So what else do we have? Oh, King DuPont. He said, yo, I loved this episode. He said, I made a one-woman squirt and she was so embarrassed. I'm like, it's not pee, relax. And he's like, the $1 Million Dreams advice was great.
Oh, thank you, King DuPont.
Thank you. Who else do we have?
We have Sam Alysha. She is a fan of the show, and we love Sam Alysha because she is so funny. And she said, I love this episode, ladies. First of all, squirting is nasty.
I can't laugh.
Second, I am a sufferer of SAD,
Yeah.
right? Did I say it right?
Yeah.
And it sucks all the time. And lastly, I need to hurry up and get my life.
We're with you, Sam. We're with you,
Okay.
Sam Alicious. Definitely.
Work in progress. And squirting is not nasty.
It's not nasty, Sam, at all.
Okay.
Just put some towels down, please.
So a lot of people reached out about that SAD.
Yeah, so a lot of people did reach out in response to my experience with SADS, and I'm thankful. A lot of people were supportive, and just some people were were just saying hey, I suffer from this too, or that, oh wow, this has a name.
Yeah.
And so we definitely wanted to share with you guys. Please check out the blog on ALittleAudacity. There's a whole little list of tips on. I guess it's 8. I think it's about 8.
It's 8.
It's 8 things. 8 ways to beat the winter blues. So definitely, when you guys have some time, it's a quick read. Just check it out. Just some quick tips on how to beat the winter blues. But one of my all-time go-to answers is pretty much find whatever your low maintenance feel good is and indulge in that. So sometime for me, it literally is turning off all the lights at night and just tuning everyone out and getting a time to be quiet and decompress. But then my other thing that gets me all the time, any season, is a long shower. I used to call it the conference room.
Oh, nice.
I need to have serious conversations, meet me in the shower. But also hey, this is meet me in the shower time for myself. And it's okay, let's get through this. Let's just breathe. Just
Right.
let the water. There's something soothing about like having that water run on you and stuff like that. It's really,
Absolutely.
and it energizes you in the same way. So let us know what some of your tips are for beating the winter blues. What are you?
I have one. One of my tips for just feeling amazing is buying those little things for your toes. You ever like paint your own toenails and you put the toe separators? Just put the toe separators on, paint your own toenails, and then just walk around the house like you're cute. It just gives me this kind of pampering feel, and I get to act bougie in the house, like
It's cute. It's very cute. It's very cute. Well, as usual, thank you for engaging with us. Please keep the conversation going at A Little Audacity on all of our platforms. Definitely, we love to hear from you guys.
Hey, oh my gosh. So,
what are we talking about this week?
you already know what we're talking about. I want to get right into it.
Okay.
Can we chop it up?
Let's chop it up.
Let's chop it up. So, of course, Let's Chop It Up, bite-sized version of our LCIU. I need to say that more often. Let's Chop It Up event in the summertime. And Sophia, I just said your whole government.
That's fine.
I'm so sorry.
That's fine.
I'm sorry. Y'all gotta forgive me this episode. But Phia Z.
I'm Phia Z, short for Sophia.
Yes, which is a lovely name, by the way. As she normally does, sends a article.
Yeah, I did stumble upon this article. Where was this from?
It was from Black something.
Oh, Baller Alert, actually.
Oh,
which
yeah,
I don't
a Black.
know. Yeah,
Black
Baller Alert. So
History Month,
we
y'all.
found this article. Well, I came across this article on Baller Alert. It's titled "Don't Worry About Her Uterus. She'll have kids when she's ready." So I have been in many conversations with tons of my friends. Like I have lots of close friends that are in different stages of their lives. Some are recently married. Some are married for a few years and trying. Some are single and trying. Some are single and not trying. And what I realized is that everyone had like their own little struggle, like with that, like with people, especially people's outside commentary on that no one kind of shared for the most part.
Right.
So a lot of time you'll have someone come to you and it's like, oh, like let's say the recently married friends. It's like, oh, you guys are, what's going on? Like no baby, no bun in the oven, and every time they see you, they want to like they're staring at your belly. Yeah. And like, or what's going on with that?
Yeah, I've experienced that. So you guys know that I recently got married, and not for nothing. People say it all the time to me,
Really?
And I already have a son. My husband has 2 kids of his own, and so altogether we have like a little Brady Bunch, you know, the modern day Brady Bunch. But they say it jokingly, like, are you pregnant? I mean, I remember when I first got engaged, people used to ask me if I was pregnant as though
that's why you're getting married.
You know what I'm saying? And because we got married pretty quickly, I would say over a course of like, we were got back dating for a year, and then the next year we were engaged. But we were grown. We knew what we wanted. Right. But they were like, oh, what's the rush? Like, are you, trying to beat
I want to get married
time? And at first, it was cute. Because it's like, no, we just love each other. But then after a while, it starts to get on your nerves. Like, nah, my man really loves me and he wants to marry me whether or not I have this baby. And then we got married, of course. And now the new thing is like, when are you guys going to have a baby? Right. And not, full disclosure, I'm in my mid-30s. So it's not like the easiest thing to happen right now. And this is like the first time in my life that I'm actually trying to get pregnant.
Yeah, you spent half of your life trying not to get pregnant.
You get what I'm saying? So for me, the fact that it's not happening as easily as I thought it would, like your questions annoy me. Right. They annoy me. Like,
no, it's a lot.
It's like I'm already putting pressure on myself. So I don't know if they're well-intentioned or people just don't have anything else to say except when is the baby coming. But I can see why this article is written. No, it's my uterus.
I think it's a little bit of both. I feel like, what am I? So I was a serial monogamist probably for up until the past 3 years. Maybe I came out of like a long relationship. Yeah. So, there were not kids happening there, and I'm thankful for that. But now, I mean, obviously I'm at that age where I would love to have kids, you know what I mean? But I'm not in a serious relationship. And so I'm not necessarily pressed, but then I kind of am. And it's like, I have my grandmother every birthday, every holiday.
Right.
It's like, oh, so you're going to let me die and I'm not going to see any great grandkids. And then the other people see you and it's like, oh, when are you having a baby? When are you this? When are you that? And it's just like, guys, why are you guys all plotting and concerned about my poor little uterus? You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, I think the one thing I want us to all be mindful of is just that everyone has their own thing going on. Like, I guess I'm not as badly affected by it right now because I'm not trying and having a trouble conceiving. But there are so many people who are. Right. You know what I mean? Like, there's people, let's say you have let's say you and your girlfriend get married, like literally a few months apart. And then one of y'all gets pregnant and the other one doesn't. I feel, and you both are trying. You know what I mean? Nobody takes that into consideration. Or how about if you try and you miscarry? No one wears a sign that says, "Oh, I just had a miscarriage."
Right.
And it's very sensitive. It's not one of those things that we're all posting up and letting everyone know. And you don't know what the person's struggle is when you're like getting in their face, like asking them, oh, what's going on? And I think it's just more so be a little bit more mindful and honestly find other things to talk to them about.
True.
You know what I mean? There are so many other things to talk about.
If I could play devil's advocate for a second, you know, like I have a couple of friends that are my age, mid-30s, and they don't have children as yet. And I find myself asking them sometimes. But it's almost because I feel like they would be great mothers, and for the most part, the ones that are not, like in relationships or trying to get pregnant, they're very focused on work.
Right.
So I think sometimes it's my responsibility as a friend to just pull them out of that for a second mentally and just say, hey, like work is great, but have you tried motherhood, really quickly? I am mindful, and I guess I could see how, being someone who already has a child, how that can come off. But in our defense, the people that do ask at times, it's like, we just want you to experience it. Like with my son, the story is like, I got pregnant, my baby father, I'm from New York, clearly. My baby father left, and I didn't see him again. Left when I was like 3 months pregnant. I didn't see him again until I was like 8 months. And although that was like a heartbreaking situation, like I would not have given up the experience of being pregnant and feeling life inside of me and pushing my son out. Like all of that is so worth the drama and the heartbreak. And when I hear friends say, oh, you know what, I'm focused on my work, I'm focused on that, I'm not even trying to bring a man's child into this world, sometimes it's like, it doesn't even really matter about the man at times. Like, I just want you as a woman to experience that. So I bring it up.
But I just want to say that I think that you never know, like someone could be talking a good game. Like literally it could be your homegirl that's like, oh, I'm not trying to have kids, I'm not trying to this. And you don't know what she's saying, that's what she's saying out loud to everyone else. You don't know what her story is inside still.
Absolutely. So
you don't know that maybe the reason why she's saying that she doesn't want kids is because maybe she can't have them, or maybe it's, her situation, you don't know what the situation is. And that's the one thing that I just, like I said, I feel like I just wish people were more mindful of, because you just never, ever, ever know.
You don't. And another thing, I feel like I'm defending the very thing that I get annoyed with. But at times, I feel like women try to carry that by themselves. I don't know what has happened that, women feel like they can't come together and have like moments where they are just honest and real about situations. I know that it could be painful. I know that, it could be embarrassing because so much of society
being a woman is tied to being a mother, being a wife. There's certain things that are.
Don't even get me on society and that whole setup, because if you have a baby and it's a girl, you're not a real woman until you have a boy. You make your opposite, and then you need to have more than one, because one is not no child. Like it keeps going on and on and on.
Right.
But there comes a time, and maybe this is a deeper conversation that we need to have, where we have to be able to be honest with one another about our struggles in our reproductive health and what we've gone through in order for everyone to be very clear about boundaries. What do you think?
It brings me to definitely a bigger topic. I actually think that's something we literally need a whole episode for. Is just some of the reproductive health issues that women face, especially women our age, especially African American women.
Yeah.
There's so many of them. So like you're literally sitting next to someone and it's like there's fibroids, there's cysts, there's PCOS, and a lot of that stuff has to do with like the stuff that we eat. It has to do with our environment. And it affects you, but then it doesn't affect her because it affects her because her grandmother had it and her mom had it.
Right.
And those are the things that, like I said, some of those things like you carry, like there's a shame will be associated with it. You know what I mean? And I don't know. As I've gotten older, I've definitely gotten more sensitive to saying it. Like I remember one of my friends, they're a little bit, I'm friends with a couple, and the guy is my age, but his wife is a few years younger than me. And I know like when they got married, they wanted to wait a few years because they love to travel, and it's a lot to travel and do certain things like and like live your best life and just be newlyweds with a child. Yeah. So I know they wanted to wait. And of course, the entire wedding, I'm like bugging them. I'm like, well, you guys are the married couple, so you're next. And it's like, I remember like looking back at myself, I know I remember them being annoyed with me asking, but like I know now, like looking back, I'm like, yo, I would have kicked myself in the face for that. Like, leave me alone. Yeah. Leave me alone.
I get it. With life comes, babies just bring so much joy. They just bring so much joy. But again, can we talk about biological clocks? Because that's like a real thing.
It is a real thing, but and I guess the older, so I know like me, I'm definitely approaching that whole high risk for like my first child. Yeah. But I mean, it's not that I'm not pressed. Like everything, I'm a firm believer in that everything happens in its time and as it should happen. And I don't believe that there are any mistakes. So like, okay, yeah, I'm 34, which is the number. And oddly enough, I celebrated my 34th birthday. My mom had me at 34. So it's like, oh, like, what's up with you? Like, catch up. Yeah. And I remember I always used to tease her as a kid. I was like, oh, you were shooting. I felt like my mom was an older mom because like my grandmother had her at 20. And like most of my friends' moms.
Same here. My mom had me at 21.
Yeah. Most of my friends' moms were a lot, not a lot, but a little bit younger than my mom growing up. And so I used to tease my mom about that all the time. And she would always give it to me. She's like, well, I'm not young, so I can't go this. I'm not young, so I can't do that. So I always kind of said I didn't want to.
Are you the oldest?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to be an older mom, but I'm not an older mom. I'm going to be a mom when I'm a mom, and that's just going to be life.
Something 34 back then is not 34 now. Like, and that's what I tell myself.
It's not. You're like, it really isn't. I'm not gonna. I mean, I get with the health risk. Like, I go to my doctor. Like, she gives me the look. She's like, well, if you want to start, I'm like, lady, get out of my face. Yeah. Is everything okay? Good. So we're good. When things stop being okay or don't look like they're gonna be okay, we'll talk about it then. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then even then, like, we'll figure it out. I'm like just a firm believer in like timing is everything. Yeah. You know what I mean? I just don't want to force something. I don't want to end up in a situation because I shoulda, woulda, coulda. I could have ended up in situations and I didn't. And I'm thankful for that. And so,
but even if you did, like, that's my whole point. Even if you ended up in a situation where you would have a child right now, it would have been worth it.
No. I have no issue with having a child. I think if I had a child 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it's just people fail to realize that sometimes when you have children with certain people, you're attached to that person for like, for the rest of your life.
We tend to forget.
Yeah. It's not just you're having a kid, you're having this child that's half of someone else. Yeah. And now you're stuck with this person.
Absolutely.
So sometimes you have to look back and say, oh, thank you, God, for saving me from that. Or whatever the situations may be. I don't know. All I know is I'm fine with time. But I need to everybody just needs to put the pause button on getting in everybody's face about what they have going on in their uterus because it is their thing. True. And like from the Baller Alert post, one of the things, like my one takeaway that I liked was one quote is like, ultimately, a woman's body is her own to do whatever she wants with. You aren't helping her by pointing out the obvious, and oftentimes you do more harm by having an unnecessary conversation with her about her choices. Learn the art of shutting up and keeping personal thoughts to yourself. This whole world would be a better place if you did.
Facts.
So I mean,
what do you think about Gabby Union, Gabrielle. You know, she recently had, I guess, a baby through a surrogate. Like, I don't know. I just feel like
That's her way. That's her way. That was her process. I love it. I think that I'm trying to remember from her book. Well, we know like she had a bunch of like she had some medical issues and stuff like that. And I feel like that's her win. You know what I mean? That child is a huge blessing for her, especially with given all the challenges that she faced trying to have a child in the first place. And like, so I think that, you know, she's a blessing, and I'm happy for her. Like, and honestly, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think also too there's a one right conventional way to like to expand your family either.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. So
I would agree with it. But, you know, I just bring her up because she's like the perfect example of like putting all the shit on the table, you know, and just saying like, this is what's going on, because it makes the next woman comfortable enough to say the same.
It does.
And when we have like clarity on what's going on, and I'm not saying that you have to tell everybody your business, choose your people, you know, rather than always getting upset when someone brings it up. Choose your people, choose your person to let them know, because you never know who you're inspiring.
Yeah,
and it's very inspiring.
Just also raising awareness, to bringing awareness to certain issues that we're all facing. Sometimes it's super helpful. Like, you know, we saw last week, I didn't plan to come in and share the whole thing about the SADS, but we saw that not only was I able to let some people know that they weren't alone in it, I was also able to like give some resources and be helpful. So I do agree with you on sharing, and I do agree with you, but it's also just about being comfortable with who you're sharing with, and like, you know, find your tribe and let them love you, let them pour love into you. Exactly.
I would agree. So, you know, I've been trying to have a baby. Let me share a little bit with y'all. I've been trying to have a baby, and let me let y'all know, like, the advice that you give women on how they can get pregnant is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I have people telling me, you know, when you guys have sex, make sure that when he's done, you keep the legs up in the air for an additional 10 minutes and just lay there. Like, it's just,
that's some weird science.
No, I'm dead serious. It's just ridiculous. They say wake up at 3 a.m. and you make sure that you're on top. Like, beyond.
That explains a lot.
Just like y'all, I need y'all to stop asking people when they're gonna have a baby. Stop creating these like
old wives' tales.
This advice, it doesn't work. Damn it! I tried them all. It didn't work.
I can't even. I can't even.
Oh my gosh! But this is what people do. This is what people
unsolicited advice and just extraness.
Yes. I'm just joking. If y'all have some more advice, please let us know. I'm willing to try whatever.
You gonna put your legs up? You gonna stand upside down?
All of that. Of that. For 10 minutes. Oh my God. So moral of the story. Shut the hell up. Stop. Be mindful.
Be mindful
when talking to people about their reproductive health. And just always remember that it's not always the woman. Damn it.
Yeah.
Okay. Put some pressure on these guys too. I'm just joking. Seriously, having kids and just being healthy with your body is a serious thing. And just remember that when you're asking about someone's ability to have children, you're literally asking about their health, and it's very personal. So, you know, hold it with care. You know, practice grace and speak life into people when you're speaking to them. Your words are powerful. Make sure that they are edifying those around you in a positive way.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
all I got.
Offer your support. And don't always assume that something's wrong. Like, don't always make the assumption that the reason why there isn't a child in the situation is because something's wrong. It could literally just be a choice. You know what I mean? So just offer to be there. Like, if you have like a close friend and you suspect there may be something that they want to share, they need to share, just give them the space to come to you and share with you, rather than like pressure them and make them, you know, you don't know what, like if it's shame or whatever they have going on, let them process that first, but let them know that you're there for them if they need an ear.
Right. Absolutely. Well said, Phia D.
Yeah.
Phia D.
Phia D, that is me.
Yes. So, what should you...
I don't know. What do we do next?
Well, I want to give some shout outs, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So I need to give a shout out again to my beautiful, beautiful mentors and junior mentors with Audacious Leaders. I want to give a shout out to the principal, the assistant principal, Miss Mitchell, who has welcomed us into, the school. We're doing amazing things for the youth, especially the little boys of IS 292. And we have a couple more sessions coming up. Mm-hmm. And I would love to get at least 2 guys to close out these sessions. The workshops really need men to answer the call. So
I kind of saw like a little bit of it. I was like kind of looking on your live and your stories. Tell me about some of the stuff that some of the activities.
Gosh. First of all, these kids are amazing. Like when I tell you, you want to find raw talent in schools, like that's where you start. Yeah. That's where you start. So first of all, we're working with 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. Okay. And this year, there's a lot of 7th graders, you know? And if you can remember being in 7th grade, it's that transition. Yeah. Like 6th graders are so, hands folded on the table. 8th graders, they're either
over it or they're going
all
hard
the way
trying to prep. Yeah.
Exactly. And 7th, it's like if you can catch them at 7th grade, and just slowly push their direction into the positive road, you got them. So but with that said, a lot of these kids have so much personality. I love kids that grow up in the hood. Like I really do. It's almost like they're not afraid, and they will answer you back, and it's just something so genuine about like raw thought, so we've done a few workshops. My favorite was the last one that we did. We did role playing. Okay. So it was all about conflict resolution.
Yes, I saw that on your stories.
So we would set them up, and it could be conflict with anyone. It would be their parents, a teacher. It could be a sibling or a friend. He say, she say. So the ones that they loved were the conflicts with parents. Okay. So, it'll be a role-playing situation where one is the parent, one is the child, and, you didn't wash the dishes. Okay. So now mom or dad, mostly mom, is telling you can't go outside, right?
Yeah.
It's telling you can't go outside. And we didn't tell them what the point of the story was. So we would let 2 kids go for 30 seconds together, back and forth. One is the mom, one is the child. And they're going back and going back. And for like every 30 seconds, one of them would have to sit down and another one would have to come up to continue. It's like an improv, right? So towards the 3-minute mark of everyone switching out, there was like no resolution. And I'm like, gosh, we've been going at this for 3 minutes. Right. Is anybody going to find an answer? Girl, within 30 seconds, the next 30 seconds, they were able to squash that. They knew exactly what to say, to their parents. Wow. For the resolution to be, the conflict to be resolved. And that was like the whole point of the workshop, that you have the power to shift conversations once you shift your mindset and have resolution as a goal. And it could work for anything, any type of conflict that you have with anyone. As long as you shift your mindset, you'll be able to finagle and, quote unquote, the new word, finesse the situation. So shout out to my kids from Audacious Leaders who shut it down in 30 seconds. Yes, with a mind shift.
You have to. And it's all about taking control of the situation, all about like identifying, okay, this is what's wrong. These are simple, and some of these are like simple basic solutions, and just more so one person kind of like taking that 30 seconds to go, wait a second, that's not really the issue. Yeah. Like reevaluating and then really quickly like addressing what actually is the problem.
Exactly. And stop trying to, be the one that makes the crowd go, oh, you get what I mean? Yes. Like when you perform for an audience, you'll forever be performing. So that was another mind shift. But those are the type of workshops that we do with children every other Saturday. And it's filling, you leave and your spirit feels full.
So do the parents participate at all or anything?
Usually for the last workshop, I invite the parents in and we'll do like vision boards. Well, last year we did vision boards. Maybe this year we'll do something else, you know, because I'm kind of over vision boards in a way.
I'm huge. You guys, didn't I say I was going to say it every episode? And I thought we were going
I
to
know.
get past this episode without saying it. But it's true. I believe in like literally setting your intention on something and like setting a visual reminder to basically take action towards the goal, like towards the vision every single day. And when you get it, like when you have like a vision board up, it kind of forces you to like, okay, wait, what does my life look like this right now?
Yeah.
No. Okay, what am I missing?
Yeah.
Okay, well let me do that.
And you know what's so crazy, Phia, is that you would be surprised that parents, like at that event, at the last event of Audacious Leaders, where that would be the first time that they really hear their child say, this is what I want to be, you know, based on the pictures that they're cutting out. And it's so important because when I think back to my childhood, my mom was pretty supportive, but if I have to think back, like she never sat down and was like, you know what, this is what you want to be? Okay, well, let's take these steps.
And break it down, right?
Right. And I think that's such an important step in a child's life to really make it feel like what they want to do is very achievable.
My dad,
and that they have support.
My dad wasn't really supportive as a kid. Like I feel like my dad had already set his, like he had a path for me, and it's like he wanted me to follow along that path. And then like once I started to veer off, he wasn't messing with it. But as an adult now, like I think that my dad believes that like I walk on water, and like he has literally come to me. Like my father will, like I remember when I was doing I was an agent full-time, I was doing real estate full-time. My dad gets on the phone and I'm driving around and I had all these showings and I'm tired and I felt like I hadn't like done anything, I hadn't sold anything, I hadn't closed a deal, anything. And I call my dad and I'm crying. I'm like, I'm gonna quit, I'm gonna get a full-time job, I don't want to do this anymore. And he said, let me tell you something, I've known you since you were a kid. I said, yeah, I know.
How you think that?
And he goes, I've never seen you attempt to do something, like put your mind to something and you haven't accomplished it. And he said, so as long as you know that you want to do this, then you're going to get it done.
Right.
Like, because you're going to put the steps to it. My mom was like my mom was always my biggest cheerleader. My mom didn't really care. She was like, when I'm talking about ride or die, it's like, oh, you're going to do this crazy nonsense. As long as it's safe for the most part, and as long as you're not getting arrested,
right? She's
like, okay, let's make it happen for you. I remember I wanted to play some random instrument too, a clarinet, and my dad wanted me to play the piano. And my mom was like, here, you're going to play the clarinet, that's the instrument you're going to play? Fine. But if you want to play the piano also, we're going to drive you. Yeah, we're going to get you there. So they were really supportive, and I think that's something that's important to do with your kids, is kind of like find what they want to do and like pour into them. You know, and I feel like it's one of the skills, like as we're talking about like motherhood and stuff like that, it's one of the skills that I don't think if I was a mom a little bit earlier in life, I would have had. Like, I don't think I would have known how to like pour into my kids' goals.
I totally agree with that. Totally. Because I had my son pretty late too, in 29.
Right.
I mean, that was pretty, given the fact that most of my friends had their kids earlier at 20, 21. So at 29, right now they have kids going to college and my son is like 8. You know, he's the baby. But there is a difference. There is a difference because you kind of, you're clear about your passions. You're clear about what you want to do in life.
Right.
So you kind of have done the work for them in a sense.
And when you're close,
set them up for the win.
Yeah. And when you're close to your like certain friends and they kind of let you in on like a lot of the like their hits and their misses.
Yeah.
You're able to like get a few pointers. Like I know like one of my best friends, this is all the time, like she has 2 small kids. And so just very different. Like as her daughter like is like developing her little personality, I'm like, oh damn, like her daughter will like ask her like the craziest questions. I'm like, oh my God, how did you answer that?
Right.
And then we kind of talk through it.
Right.
Or whatever. And I'm learning a lot. So that's also really cool. Anytime I see like my parent friends around with their kids, I'm always like taking my little pointers like, oh yeah, I'd like to do that. Or nah, hell nah. I'm not about that life.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. So that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is what Audacious Leaders, to bring it back to
the point.
This is what Audacious Leaders is all about, because it's never too late.
Right.
You know, it's never too late. You don't have to, start when they're 5, even though that is ideal. You can always catch them right before they become a teenager, and moving forward, you can always catch somebody. Shucks, you got your dad still giving you advice.
Yeah, old me and my old dad, who wasn't checking. He wasn't even that encouraging back in the day.
He learned. He grew. He grew.
See, I gave him some time. Who else do we want to shout out?
Really quickly, of course, Will Thrive Inc., the body products, the natural body products.
Yes.
You know, we still have our 15% off discount. It gets you some 15.
Yeah, get you some 15.
Get you some 15. And when I tell you, their products are amazing. They smell amazing. And after a shower, you put it on, and you know that back of your heel that gets a little rough?
Yeah.
It's like butter, baby.
Oh, awesome.
Like
awesome.
butter.
What's your favorite scent or?
It's like a coconut, shea, and lavender mint.
Oh.
Yes, girl. And the mint, you can feel it.
Yes.
In your skin.
Which is amazing. Yeah, that's
After
a really good feeling. It's invigorating.
Day, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. So shout out to them, and thank you for the discount code. Make sure you go and check them out at Will Thrive Inc. on Instagram. That's WI. They got like 1, 2, 3 L's. So WILLL Thrive THRIVEINC. Tell them that Phia D and Lisa K sent you.
That's right. Get you some.
And as always,
oh yes, who do we want to thank? Oh, we want to thank our home team, We Say What They Can't Radio, and shout out to all the other great shows on the platform. Definitely check them out at wesaywhattheycan't.com.
yes.
Don't forget to check out Two Girls and a Guy, the Two Girls and a Guy show with host Marley D, Tea with Coco, and of course Miss Lisa K.
That's me.
And who else are we shouting out, lady?
Who else? Shout out to all of you guys. Thank you so much for participating and interacting. Better word, interacting with our show and our topics. If there's anything that you want us to talk about, please do not hesitate to let us know. And you can also let us know how we're doing.
Yeah, we'd like that.
Yeah, I love feedback.
I do, actually.
Sometimes it's things.
It does, but it's like, it is what it is. Like, you want to grow, you gotta, growth hurts sometimes.
Exactly,
so,
exactly. So we are here for you. This is your girl, Lisa K.
And I am Phia D.
And that has been the Get You Some podcast.
Get you some.
Catch us every other Tuesday
On
8
all
a.m.
of our platforms.
YouTube.
YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Streaker, SoundCloud.
Yes, and you can follow me at L King by Design on Instagram.
And I'm LaBelle Phia on Twitter, LABELLEPHIA.
Nice, and it's a wrap. Until next time, thank you so much. We love you.
We love you. Get you some.